Have you ever heard the adage that rich people continue to get richer while poor people struggle more and more? This isn't just a statement, it unfortunately represents the truth. Despite the fact that many people have managed to leave poverty and become millionaires, the vast majority will never reach such accomplishment. In 2022, the aggregate net worth of America's 735 billionaires surpassed $4.48 trillion. The main purpose of this movie is a question. How can you escape poverty if you were born into a financially poor household that was not your fault? What steps can you take? What is the exact way to accumulating wealth and attaining financial freedom? In this video, we will discuss 5 basic strategies for getting out of poverty. Welcome to Cashflow Canvas, where we teach lessons about investment and money-saving techniques. If you want to make your financial future better, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates. Number 1. Recognize that you must help yourself because no one else will. It's quite helpful to have someone there to assist you, whether it's the government or your parents. Having support can make a big impact. However, the unpleasant reality is that, in the end, no one truly cares about your best interests like you do. Certainly, your parents want you to have a better life, but their ability to give you with opportunities may be limited, particularly if they grew up in a financially challenged family. If they had the expertise to better their financial status, they would most likely have done so already. When you interact with people who are struggling financially, you will frequently find them pointing fingers and blaming external groups such as the government, which is supposed to help. This is not to argue that the government should not provide assistance. Rather, if you rely only on external forces, you may find yourself waiting eternally. It is critical to strongly convince yourself that you are the best person to help yourself. This awareness is the first and most important step toward making a genuine change in your life. Number 2, do not settle for a low-wage job. I'm not opposed to getting a job. Actually, taking up a low-paying work as a teenager can be an excellent opportunity for self-education in the principles of business and economics, as well as developing financial responsibility. Nonetheless, many people find themselves trapped in a cycle of low-wage employment with no exit strategy. Growing up in poverty instills a mindset in which every penny is valuable and every dollar may have a significant influence, resulting in a society of limited demands and desires. Your demands, such as a reasonable place to live, access to good food, and common gadgets held by your peers, can usually be met with a few $1,000s. Thus, when you get your first job as a teenager, you have the means to meet these basic necessities. However, in exchange, you may have to give up a big chunk of your time, resulting in you spending all day at a job that does not teach you how to generate more money in the long term. Nonetheless, it helps to meet your fundamental necessities, keeping you at your current position. A low-paying job provides immediate gratification, allowing you to quickly accrue funds for car leasing, purchasing the latest iPhone, and enjoying social activities. Nonetheless, it lacks the luxury of free time to engage in self-improvement, which would eventually make your time considerably more useful in the long term. So it's critical to understand how to wait for what you desire. One effective strategy is to commit to frequent gym sessions. Regardless of your initial efforts, actual growth does not occur after just 1 or 2 gym sessions or even a month. Substantial benefits are obtained after several months of constant gym attendance, preferably 3 to 4 times per week. If you want a significant transformation, it may take several years. This event shows you the importance of working hard for long-term gains. Number 3, make a clear plan. If you do not have a clear plan for becoming financially independent, you may remain in poverty for a long time. The time frame for achieving this goal is less critical than having a solid plan in place. Without a strategy, it is difficult to save and invest money with discipline. To demonstrate this, consider the following hypothetical scenario. Let's say your annual expenses total $50,000. If you don't have a clear plan for making $50,000 in passive income, your efforts may be in vain. So how would you go about creating such a plan? The objective is to acquire income-generating assets, such as real estate and equities, as well as bonds or enterprises that can operate with little oversight. For example, a $200,000 house may be rented out for $22,000 per month, resulting in an annual income of $224,000. To achieve financial freedom, you may need to purchase at least 2 properties that provide a total rental income of $48,000. While this is only one option, there are several others. For example, you may take up a mortgage, have your renters pay the mortgage, and generate a little income flow from each home. Alternatively, you may look into the stock market, where you can expect an average long-term return of about 10%. The important component is not the specific strategy, but the existence of a well-structured one with a reasonable probability of success. The percentage of your income you set aside for savings and investments, whether 10% or 90%, is ultimately determined by your circumstances. However, the most prevalent criticism is, my income barely covers my expenses. How can I possibly save and invest that much? This is exactly why you should consider step number 4. Number 4, focus on self-education. When you're earning $50,000 a year, it may seem impossible to imagine oneself earning $200,000, $500,000, or even $1 million. This challenge stems from the natural need to compare these large numbers to your current work. For example, if you earn $20 per hour, achieving 7 figures would necessitate an hourly rate of at least $250, assuming you work 12 hours per day. In reality, no job is likely to pay that much. However, this does not mean that there are no opportunities to earn such large sums. There are those who make far more money, but the challenge is figuring out how to do so. That's why self-education is critical. Unfortunately, if you spend all of your time at a low-paying job, you will find it difficult to go on this learning trip. So what is the solution? You can either set aside more time after work or, like I did in the past, reduce your expenses by renouncing some luxuries in order to work fewer hours to cover your bills. This method may result in an excess of time for self-development. If you're just starting out, read books and discover your strengths. Familiarize yourself with the latest technologies and consider launching a business in a subject that matches your interests and expertise. Remember that success won't happen overnight. You're in this for the long haul. Number 5. Establish a monotonous yet effective habit. Once you've devised a sound strategy, it's necessary to create a structured routine. Forget about having interesting activities every day. Being productive usually involves keeping to a consistent routine. The glamorous lives you see on Instagram are usually fabricated. Believe me, folks who truly accumulate fortune rarely live such expensive lifestyles. Actually, someone who becomes really wealthy usually leads a fairly mundane existence, but it works exceptionally well. It may seem dull, but it produces results. You get up at the same time every day, repeat the same tasks over a long period of time, which may be years, and eventually make substantial progress. Don't let going through your Instagram feed make you feel discouraged. We don't get to pick our birth circumstances. Some are fortunate to be born into wealth, while others are not. However, as a wise person once observed, how you finish is more important than how you started. If you are born into poverty, it is not your fault. However, if you remain impoverished for the rest of your life, it is a matter of choice. Naturally, the challenges vary per country. Being born in poverty in a first world country like the United States is not the same as being born in a location like the Sahara, where there is little infrastructure for wealth creation. However, with the introduction of the internet, this paradigm transformed, allowing people from all over the world to educate themselves and even start their own enterprises online. As we conclude, I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope you found value in this video and learned something new, and I look forward to seeing you in our future videos. I would deeply value it if you could like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support will help us to create more valuable content, and we can work together to secure your financial future. What are the key takeaways from this video that you can share in the comment section?